What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to TCG Madness. It is Monday, May 19th, 2025, which means it's time for another Market Monday video. And yes, today we're going to be returning to Pokemon, to nobody's surprise, because right now Pokemon's just got a lot of ebbs and flows. There are a lot of cards trending down, so I'm trying to bring you guys the information as fast as I can. Again, I do these every week. I do these Market Monday videos. This will be the last week, however, though. We're going to be taking a look at Pokemon. Next week's video, we'll be taking a look at Dragon Ball Super. So if that piques your interest, please just do me the big favor right now. Also, if you guys can just hit that like button, I really would appreciate it. If you're new, consider hitting that subscribe button. Like I said, I just mentioned, this week will be the last week watching Pokemon, taking a look at Pokemon. Next week, we'll be looking at Dragon Ball. So again, if you like this type of content, just also hit that notification bell so you guys never miss when I drop a video. Because I mean, I try to bring you guys as much information as I possibly can on Mondays. At some point, I will also be taking a look at sealed and PSA comps. So I'm going to try to pack as much information as I can in these videos as I possibly can. So normally we just take a look at cards that are trending down, and then we take a look at cards trending up. And at some point, as I keep evolving these videos and keep going a little bit deeper into the numbers, I will be hopefully bringing you guys some sealed and hopefully bringing you guys some PSA prices to really compare. So that cards that are trending down, what other PSA 9s and 10s kind of look like as well. So you guys can really get a good gauge on what's going on in the market. Now, I make these videos for one reason and one reason only, is to help you beat the scalpers. If you're someone like me who's sick and tired of these sealed prices that are just absolutely out of control, well, that's why I bring you this information, because we're just taking a look at singles for a reason. So you guys can just pick the cards that you want at the right price at the right time. So if you see a card on this list, head on over to TCG Player or head on over to cardtrader.com. And if you head over to cardtrader.com, you use my discount code MADNESS, MADNESS, you will save yourself 5% at checkout. I will leave a link down below in the description box for all of that. The discount code, the link to go right directly to Card Trader, all that kind of stuff will be down below in the description box. So make sure to check out that as well. With that being said, we got a lot of information to go through, so let's go ahead and get right into it. First off, I have a card that is really, you know, if you really want to hit your wallet hard, this is a card that is very expensive, but it is seeing a good downward trend. That is EVEX from Prismatic Evolution. By the way, these are all cards that are trending down. So let's go ahead and get right into that. So 3 months ago, this card was selling at $229, and you guys can see it really peaked right here at $240, and now it's all the way back down to $177.50. 22% decrease. Again, this is for those guys who have the deep pockets, the big whales out there. Again, Eevee, very charismatic Pokemon, very synonymous with Pokemon. One of the probably the most top 5 popular Pokemon, right? Probably goes Charizard, Pikachu, Eevee, Umbreon, and if I had to throw maybe one more in there, maybe like a Dragonite or something, I don't know. You guys comment down below who you think top 5 Pokemons are. I definitely think Eevee, Pikachu, Charizard, like those three, anytime a set is revolved around those, it always goes nuts. I think definitely Umbreon is definitely up there as well. Speaking of Charizard, the next card on this list, Charizard EX from Scarlet and Violet 151. Again, 3 months ago, this card was selling at $263. It peaked almost to $300, so almost at $292, and now it's come crashing all the way back down to $209. It's 20% decrease. If you look at a year ago, this card was $119. So you guys can see how this card has really just kind of, we're not quite there yet, but we can start seeing the first signs of these again, the cracking's all there, right? The cracking's now officially in the mold, right? These cards are starting to all come back down to earth, which is a great sign. So if you've been wanting to pick up some of these cards, again, now might be the chance. I don't know if just Charizard will ever get back down to 119. It's possible. I'll never say never, but you know, 195 or even $200 for this card, I still think is a pretty good deal. So next up, we have Giovanni's Charisma. Remember when trainer cards, full art trainer cards used to be all the hype? Boy, that was a good time, right? Giovanni's Charisma, Scarlet and Violet 151. Again, 3 months ago, this card was at $25, and now it's all the way back down to $14.39, so it's just below 15, 44% decrease. Magikarp from Paldea Evolve. This is pretty much the chase card from this set. 3 months ago, this card was at $248, and now it's all the way back down to $190. That's 23% decrease, and you guys can see right now, current listing has it at $181. So this card has really taken a big hit. I would highly, like I said, this is a card that, again, if you have the deeper pockets, right? If you've been waiting and holding off for the right time to buy these more expensive cards for your collection or to get them graded, now's the time to pick these cards up for sure. Next up, we have Meryl from Paldea Evolved. 3 months ago, this card was selling at $37.15, and now most recently selling at $25.91, 30% decrease. That's pretty good there. Bubble Mew from Paldea Fates, card that pretty much everybody's trying to get their hands on. 3 months ago, this card was selling at almost $400. It was selling at $384, and now most recently selling at $302.48, 21% decrease. Again, another card that if you have the deep pockets, pick it up. Next up, we have Houndoom from Shrouded Fable. 3 months ago, this was selling at $45.80, and now most recently selling at $32.61. That's a 28% decrease. And what have you noticed too? Usually I've been giving you guys like a 1-month sample size, right? Because the market was ebb and flowing. I'm able to now finally give you guys a good 3-month sample size, and we finally are seeing that in the 3-month sample size, cards that are actually back down in the red in 3 months. So again, these are cards that may continue to crash, which will be great news for collectors, including myself, because this stuff was getting out of control. It was too expensive. Now with the newer sets also coming out too, a lot of these older sets, cards will eventually dip. So again, like I said, that's why I'm just giving you guys the raw information, man. Pick these cards up while they're in the red. Next up, Ghastly from Temporal Forces. 3 months ago, this card was selling at $55.28. Most recently selling now at $37.72. 31% decrease. Great news there. Walking Wake EX from Temporal Forces. 3 months ago, this card was selling almost at $62, and it was selling at $62. Its highest was $66, and now all the way down to $49.99. So obviously just a little bit below $50. And you can see right here most recent listings, 48 plus $1.21. So that's going to be $49.22. So it's going to be just constantly going down. It's a 19% decrease. Good stuff there. Now my golden pick of the lot right here. Okay, let's talk about this card. I have this card as my golden pick simply because Eevee, like I just mentioned, I think Eevee is a synonymous with Pokemon. It's definitely a top 5, right, when it comes to cards to be collected. Again, I think right now top 3, without a doubt, in my opinion, would be Eevee, Charizard, Pikachu, right? Anytime a set has those cards as its chase, those Pokemon can absolutely carry a set. And I think this card over the course of time, just like I did in my last week's episode, I had the Articuno from Journeys Together. I think this one is just going to be just like Articuno. I said Articuno was at its lowest. It's a legendary bird. This one, it's an Eevee. Eevee, most popular one of the most popular Pokemon. It's also just a group of Eevees. It's also too a beautiful artwork. When I say these are the golden picks, I basically pick these cards out, I think, over the course of times, right? So if you were to buy as many of these cards and you get them graded and you really do your due diligence and hold on to them for the next 5 to 10 years, these cards will absolutely, over the course of time, be the ones standing and basically be in that, they'll triple their price over the course of that time, right? So what do I mean by that exactly? Eevee, Twilight Masquerade. 3 months ago, this card was almost $100. At one point, I believe it was $100. Yeah, right here. This card did crack over 100. I've been keeping my eye on this card. I think I've done the Market Monday videos. I think I've talked about this card now 4 separate times in 4 separate videos. This card was right around, I think, like the $70, $80 range. I said this card will crack over 100 with the insanity of Pokemon. It eventually did, and now it has come crashing hard over the course of 3 months. So 3 months ago, $92.92. You can see right there, 14 of them sold. Now, most recently, $59.77. 35 of them sold, 35% decrease. And what I mean by that is I do think in the next course of 3, 5, 10 years, this card will crack over $100. We've already seen it happen once. It seems like every other year we go through this insanity period with Pokemon where cards just start skyrocketing out of nowhere. So my advice to you, if you were to pick one card out of all the cards I am showing you, this is the one to get. Eevee, Twilight Masquerade is my golden pick for this lot. Right now, 35% decrease down in the course of 3 months. So again, pick this card up while you can. If you look over the course of a year, this card was sitting a year ago, $43.38. If you even go down and look at the Japanese artwork, it's sitting right now at $27. Pick some of those Japanese cards up while you can. I do think, over the course of time too, these cards will also grade really well and resell very well. And you can see English right now, 46, it's sitting at $48. So we are almost back down to that 1 year price again, which is why I think this is an excellent time to pick up some of these cards. Moving on, Scizor from Obsidian Flames. 3 months ago, this card was sitting at $17.49, and now, most recently, $9.01, 48% decrease. Ninetales from Obsidian Flames, sticking with that set, $33.92 3 months ago, and now, most recently, $19.40, 42% decrease. A card that was definitely pumped up way too high, Cleffa from Obsidian Flames. 3 months ago, this card was sitting at $28.24, 122 sold, is absolutely insane right there. And now most recently selling $15.87, 108 now sold at that. So people are definitely hopping on the opportunity. If you wanted a second pick of the lot, it would be this one without a doubt. 43% decrease. Houndour from Obsidian Flames, another card that pumped up way too high. Here's another card I would definitely take a look at. 3 months ago, this card was $30.31, 134 items sold at that price. Now, most recently, $5.79, 80% decrease, and 59 sold. Again, this is another card I would get. I would buy as many of these ones as well. I mean, cards that seen that kind of high increase, you probably want to pick them up while they're at their lowest at the moment, because if they hit that high before, chances are in the next couple of years they will do it again, you know? Gardevoir EX Scarlet and Violet Base. 3 months ago, this card was selling at $53.13, and now most recently $45.39, 17% decrease. Drowsy Scarlet and Violet Base Set. 3 months ago, this card was selling at $77.87, 98 sold. That's insane. That's insanity. And now most recently selling at $27.43, 112 sold, 64% decrease. That is much better. And that is going to do it for cards that are trending downward again, with the golden pick being the Eevee from Twilight Masquerade. So there you go. Do with that information whatever you want. Again, I'm bringing you guys as many cards as I can that are trending down. There are some more cards. So again, if you want to just continue doing your research, head on over to TCG Player, head on over to Card Trader. They're going to be some of your best spots. Head on over to eBay. Check some of their eBay listings. See what's kind of going around there as well. Now, let's go ahead and flip that script and show you guys cards that are trending up. Okay, so now that we showed you cards that are trending down, now it's time to show you guys some cards that are trending up. And these are cards that are really just skyrocketing in value at the moment. A lot of them are going to be from older sets. As far as modern goes, there's only a handful of them. When we get to them, I'll tell you. But this is a good sign, though, right? Old cards that are trending up, that's what you want to see, right? They start calling those cards vintage, basically, right? Old promos and stuff like that we can never really get our hands on. That's a good sign, right? You want to see those old 15, 10-year cards now starting to, increase in rarity. We don't want to see the modern cards, but modern cards, we want to see them at their lowest right now, because that's kind of how it should be. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Mewtwo and Mew GX is the Sun and Moon promos, and one of my all-time favorite artworks of all cards ever. I love this artwork so much. I think I have like 3 of these that I've just kept in top loaders, just sitting in there. Just absolutely love this card. I love that the Mew is just absolutely annoying Mewtwo. It's one of my favorite artworks of all time. 3 months ago, this card was selling at $124, and now most recently selling at $182, 47% increase. And you can see right here, near mint directly from TCG is going to cost you $257. So next up, let's go ahead and get mint on there. There we go. Next up, we have Slowpoke and Psyduck GX alternate art. This is Sun and Moon Unified Minds. Again, I've been preaching this for a while now, right? These older sets, Sun and Moon Unified, Sun and Moon team up cards, all that kind of old stuff with the dual Pokemon, in general, right? Those cards are skyrocketing in value. This card is no stranger to that. 3 months ago, you could have gotten this card at $125. Now, most recently selling at $167, 36% decrease. And you can see right now, it's going to cost you, if you want this card, it's going to cost you almost $200 for this artwork. So another good artwork card that I wish they would bring back. I wish they would bring this type of artwork back. This is beautiful artwork. Anything where there's just look at that artwork. There's the border, everything. I really, really wish. Comment down below if you wish they would bring this back. I think these cards look way better than they do modern. Today's Pokemon. There's something about these. They just look so good. This is Team Magma's Groudon EX from Double Crisis. 3 months ago, you could have snagged this card well under $300. Well, almost $200. You could have gotten it at $211. Now, most recently sell at $286. 34% increase. And you can see right now, if you really want this card to mint, it's going to cost you over $400. So this card's really going to go up. And that's because there's just not many on the market anymore that are quote-unquote near mint. I think right now if you look at TCG, there's only 6 listings right there for near mint. Next up, we have Green Ninja and Zoroark GX from Unbroken Bonds. Again, dual Pokemon. I wish they would bring this back too, right? The dual Pokemon sets. I also miss this border too. I really do like something about these older cards, man. Unbroken Bonds. 3 months ago, this card would have costed you right around $137, and now most recently selling at $220, 60% increase. Gardevoir and Sylveon, Unbroken Bonds. 3 months ago, this card would have costed you right around just a little under $300, would have cost you about $285, and most recently sold $416. That's a 45% increase. Salgaleo and Lunala GX, hopefully I said that right, from Cosmic Eclipse. 3 months ago, this card was under $200, would have cost you a $169. Most recently sold $305. That's an 84% increase. Lugia EX from Team Plasma, beautiful looking card right here from Plasma Storm. 3 months ago, this card was under $200, would have costed you $182. Most recently sold $348, 90% increase. And now for some of the modern cards, Jolteon EX from Prismatic Evolutions, 3 months ago, $276. Most recently sold at $329, 19% increase. Miriam, Scarlet and Violet base set, another full art trainer. So really nice to see that some of these trainers get some of that love that they deserve. 3 months ago, this card would have cost you $32, and now just a sharp increase all the way up to $34.27, 6% increase. So next up, we have Munkadori, Shrouded Fable. 3 months ago, this card was $17.38 and most recently selling at $27.18. So this card's seen a little bit of quite a bit of increase as well. And last but certainly not least, we have Standigas from Paldea Evolved. A month ago, this card was right around $5.11 and now most recently selling at $7.08. 40% increase. And I only put this one on the list just because, again, as far as modern cards, those are the only four that are trending up. So that's a good sign right there. And that officially is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you did, please hit that like button. If you're new, consider hitting that subscribe button. Don't forget to please comment down below. You know, what's your take on all of this ebbs and flows in Pokemon? Like, are we ever gonna just get back down to just normal sanity? Our sealed booster boxes are ever gonna come back down? Like ETBs and stuff like that, they're still. If I were to show you guys the seal prices, like that still is through the roof right now. Like ETBs are still costing you $65, $70. Booster boxes are still at $212, $220. Like as far as sealed goes, it's absolute insanity. Singles and even PSA 9s, not 10s, but PSA 9s specifically, are actually down and actually somewhat affordable, which is why I make these videos. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. Don't forget to also check out the description box if you want to head over to cardtrader.com. Use my discount code MADNESS, MADNESS. Save yourself 5% off on your very first order. And that's going to do it for me. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys next time.